Hello, my name is Stephen Lyons, and this is my final project for Programming 1. So what I learned this semester is how to use arrays, how to save time with functions, and how to prompt users for input. Arrays kind of go together with functions in saving time so as to not repeat yourself when making variables over and over again, and so that you don't end up with spaghetti code and a bunch of repeating sections of code. And how to prompt users for input, so simply asking the user to type something in and then making the computer do something with that information. How I met requirements was that I demonstrated the use of functions, loops, input, output, printing, and if-else statements. Unique areas of my code were when I was calling the function, I was able to utilize arrays to quickly switch between scenes. This is kind of going back to the first slide, saving time with arrays. I could contain much more information in a set of arrays. So instead of putting an entire piece of ASCII art in the code itself, I could call up a file and put that into the array. When I could not get beep to work at home, I was able to use the Windows beep function to make a sound for each scene. So I spent a lot of time trying to get beep to work, installing the drivers into the terminal, but for some reason I couldn't get it to work. So I compromised and used the beep function, Windows beep function. I would have liked to randomize the chance of the bear appearing instead of it just being on another scene. I spent a good amount of time trying to randomize this as well, and I couldn't quite get it to work. There were some times where I got it to pop up, but then it would break something else, and then it wouldn't repeat the prompt again. So, okay, so here's my code in use. This screenshot is not in the terminal, and therefore the screen is not being cleared with CLS after each scene, and I did this intentionally to display all the artwork here. So on the left side you can see each scene here, starting at the campsite with the fire roasting marshmallows, and then to the tent, and then this is the bear attack scene that I was trying to randomize, but I couldn't get to work quite properly. So up here is my first function, and also my first array up here, and this array is kind of controlling the entire show here. So each one of these scenes.txt, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, is a text file containing one of these arrays, or sorry, one of these ASCII arts. And so that makes it easy for me to keep everything right here, so I don't have a ton of spaghetti code and everything running down all the way down the screen, and I don't have to have all this ASCII art in the middle of my code, which would just be annoying and confusing. And down a little further, it's a little bit hard to see behind this, but this is a while loop. And so down here, it's checking to see that as long as the user didn't input E to escape, and that they put in north or south, it's going to advance a new slide or go back a slide. And you can see this here by plus or minus 1, if statements here. So this whole loop is keeping the user going, and it's asking for more prompts, and that's about it. Again, I wish I could have randomized this bear coming up a little bit more, but that's the code.